Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Valyeth and today we'll be looking at Preservation Evoker on the 10.2 PTR. We're about a month away from the expected release date of the patch and we just had another round of balancing gets pushed out. Me and my Brewmaster Monk friend decided to run some keys on the PTR and see how Preservation Evoker feels at the moment. Please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We ran a 20 Waker's Manor, an 18 Blacker Cold, and multiple runs of 18 Throne of the Tides. You can use the links in the description to watch those runs or click the link above. For all the runs, I decided to go with the standard HOTS build focused on damage that is popular on the live servers. I was curious to see how the new 2 and 4 set performed as well as the nerf of Temporal Anomaly, although which could change our gameplay quite a bit. For you that do not know, on live servers Temporal Anomaly will put a shield and a weaker echo on the first 5 targets it hits. With some aiming practice, you're generally always able to get at least 3 or 4 people with the spell. On the PTR, this has been reduced to the first 3 people it hits, basically guaranteeing that at least 3 people will get the shield and the weaker echo. Now let's take a look at our new tier set in patch 10.2. Our 2-piece bonus gives all of our empowered abilities, which are Spirit Bloom, Dream Breath, and Fire Breath, the added benefit of casting up to 5 living flames at the targets for 40% effectiveness. That means Spirit Bloom and Dream Breath will primarily cast Living Flame on your party, and Fire Breath primarily cast on enemies for damage. Those living flames have the same chance to proc essence bursts as the regularly casted ones, which means our 2-piece will result in us having a ton of extra essence bursts to cast. These can then be used for either full strength echoes on your party, disintegrate for damage and mana regeneration via talent energy loop, and for your Blossom enthusiast, more Emerald Blossoms pushed out as well. The question I ask myself is, will those extra essence bursts generated by living flames be wasted? My experience so far is a resounding no. We have ample time to use those procs for whatever you so choose. I use them most for Disintegrate for added damage and mana regeneration. I played the dungeons quite defensively as I was not sure what to expect from each pull, but with more exposure to the dungeons I can see Preservation Evokers do substantial damage as well as some serious healing in keys. As a side note, mana is being nerfed this tier, which has a lot of healers concerned. For the runs I did, I was never remotely close to having any mana issues thanks to the extra essence burst procs used for Disintegrate and the energy loop talent. Throughout all my runs, that talent itself generated almost 300k worth of mana, which is not something to scoff at. Outside of the direct healing and damage our 2 set provides us, all Living Flame casts will also trigger our 4-piece set bonus, which says that any and all Living Flames casts have a chance, emphasis on chance here, to apply an echo at 70% effectiveness on party members. Our 4-piece feels kinda random, to be quite honest. There are times where I get absolutely no echo procs for long periods and other times when I get them back to back. Combine the increased RNG of echo applications as well as the nerf to Temporal Anomaly, and we now have a playstyle that is more RNG based than ever. It feels kinda bad when there is a large amount of incoming damage and you have to pay the RNGs for Essence Burst procs, max Living Flame procs and empowered spells, and then further for those Living Flames to proc echoes. That's a lot of dice rolls that can either make your day very easy or more likely put you in a state of panic. I do want to add one thing though. I think once the changes to the class and M+ have sunk in a bit and players are more accustomed to the encounters, I think the increased RNG aspect of gameplay will not be as impactful for the majority of the player base. For the top echelon of players, it will likely make a bigger difference, but I doubt that will happen until you get into the mid-20s at best. For the players that do 20s as their maximum key difficulty, I think Preservation Evoker will be a strong and popular spec to bring to your keys. Now let's talk a little bit about what our new tier set bonus does to our Stasis Ramp combo. Stasis is already one of our most powerful tools we have in our kit due to the sheer amount of burst healing you can push out in an instant, but our new 2-piece set bonus has made it even stronger. The general Stasis Ramp I do is Vert and Embrace, which makes your next Dream Breath do 15% more healing because of the Call Your Zero talent, into a maxed out Dream Breath, and lastly into a maxed out Spirit Bloom, preferably using Tip the Scales to make it instant. Not only will we have triggered up to 10 Living Flames by loading Stasis with Dream Breath and Spirit Bloom, we've also likely applied at least 1 to 2 echoes to your party. But what we now also have is up to 10 more Living Flames loaded up into your Stasis Ramp. If you do your Stasis Ramp, immediately followed by a well-placed Temporal Anomaly, and then unload your Stasis, the majority of your party will have double Dream Breath and Spirit Bloom HOTS, plus the direct healing from the Stasis unloading. And if that wasn't enough healing to begin with, which it probably will be, you'll also have up to 10 Living Flames going out for damage and healing due to your 2-piece bonus. That is an absurd amount of healing you can push out in roughly 7 to 10 seconds of time. Those are all of my initial thoughts about Preservation Evoker in Season 3. Overall, I think the class will do fine in M+, and the new tier set provides us with more damage and spot healing, which we desperately needed. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you.